Good morning, guys. Mr. Parisi here, and today we're going to be talking about depreciation. So, what does it mean when a car depreciates? Depreciation just means that a car is losing value. So, there are some different factors that will make your car worth more or less money. For your car to be worth more money, people are going to look for certain things. Some of those are they want it to be newer. Okay, usually it has more features and better features. Some of these could be that navigational system, Wi-Fi, a sunroof, leather seats, different things like that. More and better features. They're going to look for lower mileage. Lower mileage means that there's less wear and tear on your car. It's less likely to break down. Okay, so people, when they're buying a car, would much rather have a car with 10,000 miles than a car with 100,000 miles on it. And last but not least, if you're buying a used car, you also want it to be clean and basically not need a lot of work to make it look nice or feel nice. All right, when smoking used to be a bigger thing and everyone was smoking cigarettes, or a lot of people were, cars would be a little bit more musty, or they would be stained and things like that. So you want a car that's clean. So likewise, for a car to be worth less money, it's kind of the exact opposite of what we just said. It's going to be older. It's going to have less features. It will probably have higher mileage, so there's more wear and tear on this. And it could be dirty, or it could have like little nicks or dents or scratches on the outside. It's just all in all a little more beat up. So then let's talk about trade-in value versus private party value. Trade-in value is the value or the amount of money you can get from a dealership. You can either sell your car to a dealership. A lot of times they'll offer you to trade in your old car if you're buying a new car from them. Or you can go a private party sale, which is the value, or selling to a private party is selling to just like a normal person. So it's the value or the amount of money you can get from a normal person for your car. And we'll talk about the difference between private party value and trade-in value because they're not necessarily the same. If you are curious about how much a car is worth, all you have to do is go to a website called kbb.com, which just stands for Kelley Blue Book. All right, this is useful if you are buying or selling a car. So we're actually going to go there right now and take a look at how much a car could be worth. So we're actually going to look at my first car. So, again, we're going to kbb.com. All right, so my first car was a 2003 Ford Taurus. I obviously don't have this car anymore. It would be almost 20 years old. The mileage when I sold it was about 120,000. All right, so I got it when it was about 80,000, and I drove it for about 40,000 miles before I ended up getting rid of it. The condition, we'll just say it was good. All right, I'll show you the different levels of condition. The worst that Kelley Blue Book lets you do is fair. That basically just means that it needs some repairs, and there's good, which is what a lot of the cars are. And there's very good, which you might have some cars in very good condition, and there is excellent, which not many cars are excellent. If I could spell excellent. There we go. So those are your options on KelleyBlueBook.com. So now we're going to go to the website and check out the private party value and the trade-in value. So here on KelleyBlueBook.com, you notice a couple options right away. You're allowed to price newer used cars or check your car's value. So since we're checking my car's value, I'm just going to click on that one. I'm going to come over to the year. We said it was a 2003, so it lets you go back currently as far as 1992. There's probably not many cars around from before then anyways, but if you did happen to have like a old 1950 Ford pickup truck or something like that. You'd have to find a different website. But this is really good for most cars and most sales that you're going to try and make. So we'll click on Ford. We will click on Taurus. The mileage I said was 120,000. And then the zip code, let's see, for Cheektowaga Central would be 14225. Then you click Go. It's going to prompt you with a few different things. It's going to ask you whether it was a sedan or a station wagon. Mine was a sedan, so I'm going to click on that one. And it gives you these different versions of it. These were the different versions that were available. Again, this lowest price one right here, the SE sedan 4-door, probably didn't have the most features. It probably had just your standard equipment, whereas as you got more and more, you end up getting more and more features. Okay, so mine actually had the sunroof when I got it. It had a CD player, which at the time was a pretty cool thing. I believe that I had the SEL. So I did have the highest price one. Now I didn't get it new, I bought it used. But it's still, you're going to choose your thing, and then you're going to move on, and you're going to be able to select your options. So you could either go in through this and select options, and you can go into like interior. Now I know that I had that CD player, so that's already checked. I actually had leather seats and dual power seats. So if I wanted to, I could go through and check these off as I go. Or more often than not, what I do when I go on here is I just price with standard equipment rather than going through and getting every single thing perfect. I just get a ballpark of what a car is going to be worth with standard equipment. Choose your color. Sometimes that matters. I did have a black car. And then obviously, like I said, there's fair, good, very good, or excellent. Mine was in good shape. You know, it wasn't anything special. Definitely some things could have been fixed in it, but there were no major mechanical problems. So it was a good condition. Then you click next. Kelley Blue Book is going to start like calculating and looking online for the different values that a car like this has been sold for, and it's going to spit out an answer for us. So we just want to get our trade-in and private party values. It's going to calculate. It's going to look for similar transactions that were found near me, and it's going to spit us out some answers here. So here we go. Trade-in value first. It will give you a range to start. So it does give me the range of $686 to $1,579. So this car is not worth too much today. Again, we said it's like a 20-year-old car. So I just like taking that average value, the trade-in value of $1,133. So I'll come here and I'll write in $1,133. All right, so now we can see whether private party is going to be more or less. So when I click on private party, it actually comes up that the private party range is between 1,489 and 3,530. So private party value is going to be about 2,510. So 2,510. Now, why is that 2,510? Again, we've already discussed that trading in is going to the dealership. So this is selling to the dealership. And private party is selling to a normal person. So why would I be able to make more money off a normal person than off a dealership? And the reason is because the dealership, when they buy the car, they aren't going to be using it. They're not going to be driving around in it or anything like that. They want to resell it. So the dealership doesn't want to pay top dollar. So the dealership offers less money because they want to resell. Right? So if they want to resell the car, they're not going to give you everything that it's worth, because why would they? If they bought the car if a car is worth $4,000 and they buy it to you for $4,000 and then they sell it for $4,000, they've just wasted their time. They've made no money. But if that same $4,000 car they buy for $2,000 and then they sell it for $4,000, now they're in the positives. They've made $2,000, whereas here they've made $0. Okay, so that's why dealerships offer less money, because they want to resell the car and make a profit off of it. So you can get more money if you make a private party sale, but then the burden of finding the person that's going to buy it falls on you. Okay, it's very easy to give your car to the dealership because, hey, if I'm buying a new car, they're always going to say, yeah, you could trade in your old car, whatever, nice and easy, but you're just not going to get as much value for that car. So that's our notes on depreciation and what cars are worth. So we learned about depreciation, meaning when a car loses value. We've learned about your trade-in value when you sell it to the dealership, and we've learned about your private party value, which is when you sell it to a person. And we've used a little bit of kellybluebook.com. So that's going to be what we use tomorrow, and you are going to be able to actually plug in your own cars that you're assigned tomorrow to find your trade-in and private party value. Have a great day. And make sure you submit on Google Classroom when you're done with these notes.